Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Karl Wynn coming at you again with another video. Once again, thanks for viewing the channel. I greatly appreciate all the views that I get. Everyone means a lot to me. It really does. All right, today I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself. Just give you a little background into my history, where I came from, how I got into the real estate game. You know, and just a little background on me so you get to know me a little bit better when you see me out there in the neighborhood. So, where do I start first? All right. I've lived in Anne Arundel County for about 25 years. Probably a little bit over 25 years. I grew up in Maryland, born and raised. I grew up in Prince George's County. Moved up, lived in Baltimore County, and then I moved down to Anne Arundel County in the mid-90s. Been married for about 23 years, happily married with 2 kids. I have a son and a daughter, which I love very much. My son's a heck of a golfer, and my daughter's very smart. They're both smart, but they're great. So we have a couple birds. If you can't hear them right now. They like to make noise when I'm recording, so it's something about my voice that makes them sing. I don't know what it is, but anyhow. So how I got into real estate. Well, first and foremost, what happened was I was working as a loan officer for a company out in Laurel, Maryland. It was a subsidiary of Citibank. And we were doing loans and mortgages and that sort of thing. So I was sort of a customer service loan officer slash type, position. So I learned a lot about the game and how loans are made and customer service and also collecting on those debts. I learned an awful lot about that. And then I moved on to take a position as a mortgage underwriter, and that was pretty exciting because for the first time I got to understand the mortgage business from the inside instead of the outside. And I was the one actually approving and rejecting mortgages, and all the things that the conversations that I would have with the account executives trying to save a deal, or the reasons I would have to reject the deal. It was pretty straightforward, and we had a rule book that we had to stick to. And as a mortgage underwriter, if you make a mistake, it could be costly, because what happens is that particular mortgage broker takes those loans and they sell them to a Citibank, a Wells Fargo, or a Bank of America. They'll actually come to your office with their underwriter and re-underwrite all the paper that you already underwrote. And if they find mistakes, well, they're not going to buy that particular piece of note. So what do you do with it? You're in trouble. You have to sell it to a scratch and dent outfit that'll buy it from you at 60 to 70% on the dollar. So you're going to take a loss if you make a mistake. So that's a high pressure job, and you really have to be on your P's and Q's, especially when there's a lot of volume going on. What happened was we had our first child, and I decided to, at the time, because real estate was pretty hot, and I didn't know it, started to and wanted to invest in real estate. So I didn't know how. I didn't know much about real estate. So I figured the easy way to do it was to probably go to an auction. So I went and I tried to get a house at an auction. I got there at the house and I'm bidding on the home, and I put my deposit in, and I didn't know my numbers. And I ended up losing money. I think I put down close to $2,500 to get into the auction, and I won the auction, overbidding on overpriced condo. And that was my first real lesson in real estate. It was a disaster. I lost my deposit. I ended up selling I couldn't sell my interest. I just had to eat the loss. I couldn't move forward with buying the property because where I wanted to auction at, the house wasn't worth it. And that loss was pretty brutal, but it also taught me something very, very good. That you have to know your numbers when you walk into a real estate deal. You have to know your numbers inside and out. And that was one of the things that taught me not only a lesson, but also I needed to get educated on how real estate really works. So then I said, well, where do I go to really learn real estate? And I said, well, I can go get my real estate license. So that's what I did. I went to a real estate school, paid the money, I forgot what it was, $200, and I started taking my real estate courses. And it was very enlightening. I mean, I couldn't believe, like the instructor on the first day said, look to the left. And then he said, look to the right. And he said, most of the people you're looking at won't be here a year or two from now. I was like, wow, real estate is like that? He was like, yeah. He was like, most people will quit because it's too hard. I was like, well, I didn't let that affect me. I said, well, he's not talking about me. I don't know what quitting is. I don't quit. So I kept going, and I did pass the class. I took my real estate exam. I think I missed like maybe a couple questions, and I had like high 90s on my exam. I got like an A+. So I felt like I was ready. I was ready to finally cut out the middleman and become a realtor. Not to sell real estate and help buyers, but to be a savvy investor. That's why I became a real estate agent. I wanted to be able to get the jump on properties, have access to them, and then invest in them that way, buy them up that way. So, I was on my way. I had my license. I passed my exam. I started with, affiliated with a broker out there in Severna Park, Maryland, and I was on my way. Well, one of the harsh realities that I had to learn was real estate school had nothing to do with real estate. I knew nothing about marketing. I knew a little bit about marketing. I knew nothing about, the actual minutia of selling a house, marketing yourself, and staying in contact with your clients, and creating a database. I knew nothing about that. The real estate course doesn't teach you anything about that. It teaches you about real estate, hardcore real estate facts, but it does not teach you the business of real estate. So that was one of the other lessons that I had to learn. So as I'm trying to learn that, I'm also looking for properties to invest in. One of the harsh realities that I found out was that all real estate agents aren't the same. I'm going to say that again. All real estate agents are not the same. Now, I don't want to besmirch anyone's reputation, because that's not what this video is for. But I had some bad experiences with real estate agents before I became a realtor. And that kind of sparked me to become a realtor, because I had instances where I could not rely on a real estate agent to show me a house that I wanted to buy. I had a down payment, I had a pre-approval, I had everything, but I could not get access to the house because either the real estate agent wouldn't call me back, just poor customer service. I would go in certain counties and it would be like the Wild Wild West. There was a house that was on the market that I really wanted to get my hands on. It came on the market on a Friday. I remember it clearly. And I wanted to take a look at it. I wanted to put an offer in. I could never get a hold, no matter how many times or how hard I tried to contact this agent. I could never get an appointment. This guy, whoever it was, they were always out of town. They were out of town for the weekend. I'm like, okay, who lists the property and then leaves town that weekend? Okay, that makes no sense whatsoever. So I'm calling the office and I'm just getting a runaround. Nobody wants to show me this property. So I drove by and I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely one I want to, I looked in the window and said, yeah, this is definitely one I want to put an offer in on. But I still want to see, the inside. So Monday comes around. I called all weekend long. I got the runaround. Monday comes around. All of a sudden, this thing is under contract. Yeah, the house is under contract. I don't know how, because I called all weekend trying to see it. The minute it came on the market, and I couldn't see it, but it was under contract magically on Monday morning, matter of fact. So I was so pissed off by that. I just said, you know what? I'm just going to get my own real estate license, and that way I don't have to deal with people. I don't have to deal with the agents. But you still have to deal with real estate agents. There's no way of getting around it. Now, you do get access once you become a real estate agent. You can't go see a house. You still have to set up the appointment and everything. But it just taught me a lesson about the poor customer service and the bad taste it leaves in your mouth. And I never wanted to do that with my clients. I never wanted to have my clients feel like they were being neglected. I always wanted to outshine when it came to customer service. So that was one of my big pillars when it came to my business. I wanted to provide extraordinary customer service. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to show these people that I cared, because I really did. I cared about how they felt about the process. I cared when they felt fearful. I cared when they were going through a tough time, or whatever it was. I cared, and I was there. I wanted to be there for my clients, and I wanted them to make sure that I had my arms wrapped around them, and I was going to protect them, and I was going to take care of them and do the best that I could, and use all my skills to make sure that they have a successful transaction. That's always been my goal, is to just deliver for my clients. So whenever you see me talking about real estate or anything like that, that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a place where I know what it's like to have poor customer service. It's terrible. I never want my clients to feel that way. I want them to feel empowered. I want them to have all the information they need to make the right decision, or to make what decision is best for them. So that's been something that I harken back to every time I'm dealing with a client, whether I'm selling a house or helping a first-time home buyer, or selling a house and helping the seller buy another house. I always want to communicate, if not over-communicate with my clients, and make sure that they have the best that I have to offer when it comes to real estate, and that they will refer me to their family and friends, and come back again and again for more transactions. And I've been blessed to have clients that have stuck with me throughout the years and have done multiple transactions. I love all of my clients, but when you have a client come back to you and again and again, and they entrust you with the biggest purchase of their lives, it means a lot to me. It really does. It means the world to me. So I appreciate my clients, and I try to show that every time I'm with them or I'm on the phone with them. This is what I do. So that's a little bit about me. I hope you learned something. I hope it was helpful for you. It's kind of wild talking about myself through a camera. About my career, but it's amazing. So I find it therapeutic as well. So if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. If you need anything in regards to real estate, reach out, connect with me. Be more than happy to help you. All right, guys. Till next time.